The truth, you know. Hey, yo, you recording? You recording? All praises.
It's time to rise up. No more being lazy. Cause when you know the truth, that's when they call you crazy. See, round here, it ain't all gravy. Some people rhyme with scraps, and it's all safety. They say what goes around comes around. I guess that's why some of my enemies don't come around. I speak the truth in every bar, and it's a light in every star. Let's wake up and realize who we are. Why? Because there's blood behind every scar. Look, the Jews were black, it's written in the book. They say you wanna hide something from a black man and put it in the book. Hey, facts. But that's just how it is. It's sad, but that's just how it is. But we get blamed for the way we live, but they never blame the ones that taught it to us. It's just a life cycle, but I'm just trying to be the best, just like Michael. It's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Where I come from, you gotta put away your fears. Only a few wanna see you up, but most people wanna see you down. That's why my smile is turned to a frown. When you a king, you deserve a crown. It's all praises to the Most High. I'ma keep His commandments till I die. I know sometimes we like to ask why, but I learned that you gotta let the Lord work. He do it. I know I'm here for a reason. Damn, they killing for no reason. Yeah, it's been a bloody season. My people constantly fighting demons. See, I appreciate everything. All the love, all the hate, I mean everything. Giving wisdom to my offspring. We laced up like shoestrings. Just putting on for the home team. They'll try to block your shine like sunscreen. They will. Yeah. Hey, don't mind me just giving wisdom to my offsprings. Hey, let's keep the holy days, and stay away from old ways, old ways. Let's keep the holy days, and stay away from old ways. Let's keep the holy days, and stay away from old ways. Let's keep the holy days, and stay away from old ways. All praises to the Most High. Sure, it's King.
Hey, shalom. We back for another Bar4Bar episode. All Shabbat. First and foremost, giving our praise, glory, and honor to Yahawashi, Yahawashi, right? Always first and foremost, man. Shalom to everybody that's in the chat, that's tuned in for this lesson, man. You see the title, Your Christmas is a Lie. You see the thumbnail, man. We got the gas tank. We got the gas tank setting the Christmas tree on fire. It's got to be burnt down. The lies got to be destroyed, right? This has nothing to do with the so-called, or not even the so-called, but the literal Black Messiah. It has nothing to do with him. It has nothing to do with Father Yahweh, right? Nothing at all. It has nothing to do with the Bible at all, right? So your entire celebration of Christmas is a whole lie. And you do it just because the white man gave it to you. That's the only reason you do it. And you don't care to look into why you do it. Everything nowadays is for the kids. Everything nowadays is just, I'm doing it for the kids. But I want to get Hosea 4 and 6. Then we read this a couple weeks ago. Right, I want to start with Hosea 4 and 6 because that for the kids spirit need to get cut down. Because the Bible says you should train up a child in the way that he should go. So how are you doing it for the kids, but you're supposed to be training the child up in the right way? Instead, you're teaching them lies, man. You're teaching them that Santa Claus is coming down a tree. You're putting out cookies. You're making them write a Christmas tree.
Right.
I mean, a Christmas list. You're talking about a good and a bad list that Santa got. When did reindeer start flying? Where are the elves? When did Santa move to the South Pole or the North Pole? Right? All this huge play of a lie that they gave us. And we're going to get into it, how it's really based on just Greek, Germanic, and Roman paganism. That's all it is. It's just paganism. But our people are so blind in the Greek philosophy that when you tell them this, they can't even see it. Matter of fact, they don't care.
They don't
They're
want to
so
see it.
blind. The churches are doing it. Your granny always doing it, right? The tree is up. They got the joy spirit. They playing Christmas songs everywhere you go. Every city is decked out with lights to put you in that spirit. Hey, but today we're going to tear that spirit down, man. Let's read that for the kids, though. Let's start with that. Everybody that's speaking about is for the kids. Let's read that.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 4, beginning at verse 6.
Come on.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
It's very key. It says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And Christmas, understanding what it is and how it came about, is a simple Google search. And then you could just go down the rabbit hole. And most of the time I tell people to stay away from rabbit holes, but this rabbit hole, you should go down it. Why? Because nowhere in the rabbit hole does it lead to Christ. Nowhere. No angle that you go, no matter how far you digging, it's not leading to Christ. So our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, meaning they're not searching the knowledge out, and our true knowledge is going to come from keeping God's commandments. Keep going out.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
Say it again.
I will also reject thee.
And because we reject the true knowledge and just take the knowledge of our oppressor, Yahawashi, he will reject us. Because the knowledge that we should be seeking is coming from the scriptures. We keep every celebration America has. New Year's, Valentine's, Easter, President's Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July, Juneteenth. What else we got? Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christopher Columbus Day. That's all. I'm at 10 in my fingers count, right? Thanksgiving and Christmas. Almost 12 holidays that we keep. And most people that's keeping these days, guess what religion they profess to? A Christian. But the Most High God has prescribed days for you, and you keep 0 of them. Not one of them do you keep. Matter of fact, you say, I don't have to do it. That's why God said, I'm going to reject you, man. Keep going out.
That thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God.
Right, and that's heavy too, because it says, he said, you're going to be no priest to me. What should the priest do? The priest's mouth shall what? Keep knowledge. You read that in Malachi. Right, but the problem is we're not keeping the law. Keep going.
I will also forget thy children.
And because, no, read that part. Go back a little bit.
Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God.
Come on.
I will also forget thy children.
And that's the spirit for the children's sake. You forgot God's laws and thought it was okay to keep Christmas. You thought it was okay to keep Thanksgiving. You thought it was okay to keep Valentine's Day. Guess what? The Most High said, I'll forget your children because you reject me. So it's not about the children. It's about raising the children up in truth. We all know that Christmas is a lie. That's why we got the Christmas tree on fire in the back. It should offend you.
That's right.
Because a lie should always offend you, right? So let's jump right into it. Let me greet my members in the chat, right? If you haven't already, make sure you become a member of our YouTube, right? You go to our main page, you'll see the join tab right at the top right. So we got Sister Yapa, and we got Soldier Shalama Shalawama. We got soldier Yatham Shalom King. We got soldier Kazak Shalom. We got a warrior Micah Allah in the building. She is striving. Shalom, sis. Who else in here? We got Yakoria, SOT Yakoria. What's up, Art? And we got Ariel in the building. I see a couple captains in here. Captain Allah, Shalom Cap. We got a captain from LOZ in the building. Kairam, Shalom King. And everybody else in the chat, man. Shalom to the family, right? We're gonna get into this thing promptly. Last week, man, it was a sad week, man. We missed the episode of the Bar4Bar. Brothers had a couple things going on. You know, brothers was distraught about. Brothers was texting me, asking me, was I all right? Was I okay? You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody that definitely reached out to me, man. Definitely appreciate that. But we back, man. We back like we left some. We back like we left some on the table, and we did. Right? And we did. So we're gonna get into this thing promptly, right? And I want to start with an article. Real quick. Let's jump right into it. Give me a second. Already got it up. Bingo. Oh, now I want to play with me. Now I want to load. Hold on, real quick. It's loading on me now. Is my video choppy out?
Uh-oh.
Okay. This is loaded in the back. I'm trying to figure out why. All right, we're gonna get into all these idols and idolatry. I mean, it's the rabbit hole you could just go into when you're talking about the spirit of, you know, Christmas. The lie, the greatest lie told, December 25th. How could they make how could they do that? How can they make such a thing up? Hey, when you brought that out earlier when we was talking, we said they paint the images up. And they're gonna change times and laws too. Hey, let's read that real quick. Let's get that in Daniel. Let's get that while this is loading up. I might gotta open a new tab and do it.
All right.
Okay, here we go. I got a new tab. Bingo. Everybody got that? Everybody gotta read that. Daniel, I believe chapter 2.
You want
44. 7 and 25. Daniel 7 and 25.
all right. I was looking at 6 and 25. All right. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and shall think to change times and laws, and they shall be given unto his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time.
So there you have it right there. He's gonna read the first part again. The first part is just so heavy. Read the first part out.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High.
That's what these heathen have done. They're speaking great words against the Most High. And it's all in hypocrisy at that. Somebody got an echo, and Aharon, you a little choppy. You kind of freezing. They speaking great words against the Most High, and they decided to change laws and times. What laws did they change? Homosexuality is okay now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That was a big thing with President Barack Obama. Homosexuality, that's okay. How did they change times? Take away all your high holy days and make you celebrate their days now.
That's right.
So Daniel already saw these things for happening. It was already probably happening when he was in the Babylonian captivity. So us being so-called woke, you know, everybody got the woke spirit, but they're celebrating Christmas. That don't make no sense. I seen a beautiful post yesterday too. it said, I think it was on Facebook, one of the brothers from Idolatry. If you got on them Christmas pajamas this year as a grown man, you a simp. That was a good post. If you rocking the elf pajamas this year, you and your rib got the matching elf red pajamas with the reindeers on them, and the Christmas. Sharyala, he laughing. He used to have that on. He can't get away. That's why he laughing. This is why he's laughing, because he used to have the elf pajamas on with his elf shirt. Right? He said, okay. I don't know. The jury's out on that. But if you got that on this year, you a simp. Number one, there is no elves, there is no Santa Claus. And number two, you just straight lying to your children. Hey, I don't want to say they got our brothers effeminate. No, I don't want. This year they're gonna have the onesie on. This year they're gonna have the elf onesie on. Look, hey, look, Sharyala had it. Look, Sharyala say, hey, Aharon had the onesie on, man. This brother's going off in the chat. But they definitely gonna have the onesie on this year. They're gonna have the elf onesies on. That's all I'm gonna see on Facebook. That's all I'm gonna see on Facebook is that elf onesie or matching pajamas or the ugly Christmas sweater. You know you gotta have an ugly Christmas sweater. You know they had a red and black one. Then you got the black Levi's with the breads on, the Jordan 12s, the breads, because they came out for Christmas. That was me. I'm not gonna lie. That was me. I had the ugly Christmas sweater. Whatever J's came out, I had it on. But I'm just glad that the Most High brought me out of this folly, man. Because what was I doing? Hey, the brothers say they're going to have the gingerbread onesie on, man. All right? So let's get into this thing. The gingerbread.
Nah, that brother had on the suspenders with the Santa hat.
No, the onesies is out. You can't do the onesie, man. That's out. All right, that's definitely out. Right, so let's get into this article real quick. Let me pull it back up. Just a very simple article, too, not too deep, but has good information. We won't read it all. All right, let's get it. All right, Christmas, right? The botanical, right, where it has a lot of good history, society, scientific, just a lot of good information on it at times. Obviously, you got to chew the meat, spit out the bones, do your research, go to some of the sources, right, that they have, where they got the information from as well. Same thing like Wikipedia you have to do, right? You got to go look at their sources to make sure they're quoting the sources correctly. But for the most part, we know that a lot of this Christmas is going to be full of paganism. So let's start with this. What is Christmas, right? Let's start with this, one of the brothers. I'm going to zoom in for you. All right. Somebody read that. Brothers is reading. Y'all on mute. Yahawashi, read it.
Count that one.
Go ahead.
Christmas, Christian festival celebrating the birth of Jesus.
Number one, the birth of Jesus is not stated in the Bible. First slide. Let's just be honest. If we're being honest, Christ's birthday is not stated in the Bible. Now, you can go to certain things, right? Hey, well, it said Christ was born in a manger. Why would they put him in a manger in the middle of winter? Let's look at the weather in Jerusalem right now. Let's look at that. Weather in Bethlehem. Let's see. It's 57 and raining right now in Jerusalem. That's the weather. Lows are 52, highs are 63. Mm-hmm. Right? And then they say the coldest month is December and January. That's the coldest month. So a lot of people make that point. Why would you put Jesus Christ in a manger at 57 degrees? You should have him bundled up next to the fire, you and him.
That's right.
Right? So a lot of people make that point. You can't say you can't stand on that point for a fact, but that's a good point. That point makes sense. But without that point, we can see without a shadow of a doubt, there is no scripture that's saying December 25th, nothing.
That's right.
Nothing. Right? At all. Keep going, Ike.
Slovakia. The English term Christmas, Mass on Christ's Day, is of fairly recent origin. The earlier term Yule may have derived from the Germanic Yoel or the Anglo-Saxon Joel, which referred to the feast of the winter solstice.
Here we have it. Let's start right here. Let's start with the ancient feast Yule, as the Germanic people, the Scandinavians, the British Isles, these people, Edomitic people. Let's start with them and where this doctrine comes from. So it's gonna come from your Yoel, right? So when you look into the history, you got the winter solstice, you got Yoel, and then you also have Saturnalia. These are the three festivals that came about during the winter solstice. You had the Romans with Saturnalia, and you had the Germanic people doing Yoel, or Yule as they would say it, right? Is everybody following that? Brothers, y'all writing that down? So y'all are writing it down, right? So they have that. Now let's look at some of their ancient gods that they followed during Saturnalia, or the Romans followed during this time. We're gonna get a video, right? We're gonna get a video. Watch this. It's very simple. Let me find that video. Is this the one? Yep, right here. Let's get a video to describe some of this madness that they was following. We're gonna start with Saturnalia, and then we'll go into Yule. Let me pull this up. Stop sharing that. I didn't even notice Aharon can't. Aharon, I'm about to bring you back up. All right, so fair use. You know, we're only using this video for education purposes.
That's why.
I'm meant to critique it. All right, so fair use. Let's get into it.
We've all heard the biblical origins of Christmas, but societies have been celebrating light and birth in the darkest days of winter, centuries before Jesus walked the earth. In the Norse country, this winter celebration was known as Yule. Around December 21st, the winter solstice, fathers and sons dragged evergreens indoors as reminders of life and set logs on fire as a promise of good fortune. Ancient Rome had its own December festivals. 1 week before the winter solstice, Romans began celebrating Saturnalia, an orgy of food and drink in honor of Saturn, the god of agriculture. Some Romans, particularly soldiers and government officials, also worshipped Mithra, the sun god. It is believed that to this small but powerful sect, the birthday of Mithra, December 25th, was the holiest day of the year. By the first.
Now, did y'all catch that? That? December 25th, the ancient Romans celebrated Saturnalia, but their most holy day, one of the most holy days, was celebrating on December 25th, Mithra. Let's go back. You got to write these guys down, because our people are so, they don't care, but it's just good for you to know and teach. Play it back. So everything during this time too, all of it goes back to the sun. It's worshiping of the sun. You're gonna see.
Officials also worshipped Mithra, the sun god. It is believed that to this small but powerful sect, the birthday of Mithra, December 25th, was the holiest day of the year. By the 1st century AD, pagan traditions were being challenged as Christianity took hold throughout the empire. But Christ's birth date remained a mystery, since the Bible doesn't mention exactly when he was born.
And then we could stop it right there, because that's the true statement. The Bible does not mention when Yahawashi was born.
That's right.
At all.
Salaki.
Go ahead, King.
Man, and when you look, the definition of paganism is worshiping the elements of the earth. Basically, everybody's pagan that doesn't celebrate, doesn't worship like a monotheistic God. So basically, everybody else, that's why it was always the sun god, the god of fertility, the god of agriculture, and all this stuff. That is what paganism is, right? And like the video said, the Roman elites, they were into Mithraism. So Constantine, all of the people that were kind of in charge of governing Rome, they were all Mithraic, okay? And so what they had to do, because as the video kind of, if you continue watching that video in your own time, you'll see they had to find a way to marry Christianity with Mithraism. And so what did they do? They said, hey, let's make Christ's birthday on December 25th. So then that way everyone's really celebrating Mithraism in our pagan tradition, but we're masking it with religion, with this newfound Catholicism. Because we know Rome, they ruled with the sword. That was their power, the fear of the sword. But when Yahawashi came, the Israelites, we no longer feared the sword because we knew we had eternal life. So go ahead, kill me. Watch what's going to happen. So now, realizing that the power of the sword no longer had effect, they had to use the power of your belief system, the control over that eternal life to reign. And you see, it's still to this day they have a stronghold on it. You know, and like the video said, from the Yules to the damn Romans to basically a whole bunch of pagan traditions that you could find that all celebrate on December 25th as the day of the sun. I mean, as the birthday of the sun god.
Yes.
You know, and so that's all it is. And you got to ask yourself, if the scripture doesn't say Yahawashi was born on this day, it tells you the time he was born during the time of tax, which you wouldn't have sent people to collect tax in the dead of winter, using logic. So, and which, by the way, that's found in the book of Luke, chapter 2, starting in verse 1 to like 5. You can see that.
Let's read it. Let's show the people. We got time. Let's show the people. That's not a bad point.
All right. The book of Luke, chapter 2.
Rocky, I'll read it for y'all.
Okay, Thor.
It's the book of Luke.
We don't keep the lunar Sabbath. We keep a regular Sabbath, Friday, sundown to Saturday, Sunday. But if you're interested, I know the brothers of Sakari, they have one. Those are brothers. We locked in with them, so you can check them out as well. Go ahead.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 2, starting in verse 1. And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed.
Salakia, all the what?
All the world shall be taxed.
Was that the whole globe, or was that the world of his region?
His region.
That's another power pellet for a different subject. Keep going.
Verse 2. And this taxing was made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria. And all went to be taxed, and every one into his own city. Right.
So you see, look, wherever you were, you had to check into your city to be taxed. And he sent people over there to collect tax, right? Keep going.
And Joseph also went up to Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth, into Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David, to be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child.
Right.
And so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she would be delivered.
So we know that Yahawashi was born during this time of tax. Now, just using common sense, Caesar Augustus, he wouldn't have sent everybody within his region to travel from wherever they are in that region back there to be taxed in the dead of winter. Why? Most people would die. It's very cold. Most animals would die. It's very cold. Most of the substance that I've amassed to myself to be able to provide the tax is not at its height. If you look at crops, they're not there. It's only a certain amount it's a small amount of crops that you can even grow during the winter. You wouldn't have even been able to have all your flock out at nighttime traveling like that because they would die. So it's very unlikely that it would be in the dead of winter, and more likely that tax would be during the time that we know tax season is around the world. During starting at more so the spring to the warmer months. Now, I'm not going to say that the Bible does not say the specific month. It does not say the specific month, but using wisdom, common sense, and research, you can see that this tax was not done during the dead of winter.
That's right. Excellent point. Let's get Colossians 2. Let's get some classic scriptures real quick. Colossians 2, verse 8.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 2, beginning at verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
And that's what has happened. We have been spoiled. Remember, the scripture said a gift destroyeth the heart.
Right.
We have been spoiled through philosophy and vain deceit. The spoiling was giving us these gifts and these holidays for days off. Because it's easy to get Christmas off if you really want it. But it's hard to get that Shabbat off.
Mm-hmm.
How hard is it for you to get 7 days of Passover off as a so-called black man in this working society? How hard is it for you to get 7 days off for tabernacles? 7 days off for feast, 8 days off for feast of dedication, 2 days off for Purim.
Mm-hmm.
It's
and
very
new moon too,
and every new moon at that. Right? How hard is it for you to get those days off? But they have spoiled you with. I'll give you the days I want you to be off. Don't worry about your days. I'll give you the days you should follow.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that's what they want. They want you to liken the ways of the Grecians best of all. Keep reading on that.
After the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ.
And that's very key because it says after the rudiments of the world, that's the idolatry, and not after Yahawashi. Same thing the Pharisees was doing in Mark 7. Get Mark 7 real quick. With the traditions of the world. Or the traditions of the men, as the scriptures call it. That's what it goes back to. Following the traditions of men and leaving aside the traditions of God. Nothing to do with Christ. But everybody at my job is so happy Christmas is coming. Mm-hmm. But all of them confess it. I just be looking like, how are you still a grown person talking about a Christmas tree? I can't wait for Christmas. I can't stand that conversation. What are you buying for Christmas? Nothing. The same thing I bought her last year. Nothing. What you buying the wife for Christmas? Nothing. The same thing I bought her last year for Christmas. And the year before that.
That's right.
They can't fathom it. You're so different when you start to confess or even talk about not celebrating Christmas. What you doing for New Year's? Nothing. Matter of fact, we're gonna be out teaching, prophesying against it. In all honesty, because it's on a Sunday. Decorating the office. Oh man, I heard a couple brothers story. Man, they had me trying to put up the tree and holding the tree, and they had me putting up the lights. I'm like, oh man, brother, I thought I had it bad just talking about it. We got you decorating and putting up the elves, and as soon as Thanksgiving was over with, they had our whole facility. The tree is huge. The tree is then 2 stories tall in where I work. Right? You had somebody around?
Come man, hey, it's a Issachar brother that be around the pet shop, right? The brother came in the other day in a full Santa Claus suit with some dingy yellowish, whitish pearl beard, trying to
hey, I can be here today. You know, I can be Santa today in the shop, you know, for all the kids. I'm like, bro, if you don't get your grown self, you got up to put on that costume, found that beard from 1999 that you've been pulling out every year, biked up here to stand up here and do what? Take pictures with kids, hug kids. What spirit is that? Boy, I kicked him right with a sundoe shot. I said, man, get yourself out of here, dog.
That's crazy. Yeah, well,
But look, hey, where was he at when it was time to set up the shop?
Nowhere to be found, of course.
He was like, hey, I see progress. Good job. Where was you at? You ain't come help me then.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to come play a costume of a white man for kids? Brother, that's weird.
Yeah, they got it set up, man. At my job, they got it set up where you could come take pictures with Santa. That's how deep. Hey, but when you walk in, right, they got the Santa on like the right, and then in the middle, they got the 9 candlestick menorah. Yeah, they intertwine them, right? They got Santa to the right, and then they got the 9 candlestick menorah with the star or the shield of David right in the middle of it. Pure madness. Two separate lies. 9 candlesticks in the Bible. 7. And Santa Claus, we're gonna get on him too. We got to show where Santa comes from. Right. The Santa Claus is gonna go back with Yule.
And Salakia. It's crazy because Judah think he super woke because he didn't went got a black Santa.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, you think Judah he an activist today? He didn't got the black one.
Yeah, I got the black Santa. You got the black angels. You got the black Mrs. Claus. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Come on, man.
Come. But look, you should look at how the damn Polish celebrate Swarty Pete. Look at how they bring blackness into damn Santa Claus. Swarty Pete is literally a slave that they say is Santa's helper, and they celebrate by painting them blackface. The whole country.
Oh no, we got that. I got that in the clip. That go with Saint Nick. That goes right with Saint Nick. Watch. Yeah. We're gonna show them images. Let's read that Mark real quick.
It's the book of Mark, chapter 7 and verse 8, and it reads, "For laying aside the commandment of God, ye hold the tradition of men."
And what do they do?
Ye hold the tradition of men.
So our people like to lay aside the commandments of the Most High God just to keep traditions of men. Keep going.
As the washing of pots and cups, and many other such like things ye do.
Right, and that's what they do. I'm not necessarily saying that they're doing washing in cups right now, but what are they doing? Put up the Christmas tree, putting up the light, putting the star on top of it, giving the gifts, got cookies out for Santa. You like those traditions of men, but you won't be keeping no Passover.
Right.
You don't even know what a Purim is found, but you a holy rolling Christian. You ain't actually never heard of the Purim ever in your life. You never read the book of Esther. Right? Keep going up.
Verse 9. And he said unto them, full well ye reject the commandments of God, that ye may keep your own tradition.
And that's what they have done. They have forsaken or rejected the commandments of God just to keep the traditions of men. So now God's laws no longer reign on the earth. It's all about the traditions of men and what we can do for the kids to make these kids happy. But the scriptures say what? Children are our oppressor. That's why we got these spoiled brats. But let one of these Eves don't have no Christmas presents. Or one of you fathers come home with no Christmas present. Ooh, you gonna get it from your children. These kids nowadays too, they wicked and they real spoiled and they're sadists, they're brats. They'll get on Facebook talking about you, Instagram live talking about you. All of this because of no Christmas gift. You a bad father, you a bad mother, all because of no Christmas gift. When you was trying to put everything on layaway, you didn't pay December's rent because you was putting everything on layaway, trying to buy stuff Black Friday, or you're not going to pay January 1st rent because you done bought out for Christmas, right? You done bought out for Christmas, you can't even pay your rent. Your priorities is backwards. Mm-hmm. just to boast about some Christmas gift or some folly day. And that's why our people are destroyed, for a lack of knowledge, man. Because you will miss out on your rent to buy a tree and put some gifts under it. Don't make no sense. All right, let's go to Second Maccabees. Aharon always bring this out. Let's go to Second Maccabees 4. Let's start at 15, man.
It's the book of Second Maccabees.
Sister, they gotta know what layaway is. Don't post up on layaway no more. I know them rappers, they putting that jury on layaway. That's for sure. They be getting caught all the time buying jury, putting it on layaway.
That's right.
Which I don't think is a bad idea, but hey, I guess you gotta just buy cash nowadays. Right? Bring that out.
The book of Second Maccabees, chapter 4, starting at verse 15.
Start at 14.
Verse 14.
Really 13.
Verse 13. Now such was the height of Greek fashion.
That's what we in right now.
Mm-hmm.
The height of Roman Greco-Roman fashion. We in the height of it right now with the winter solstice, Saturnalia, Christmas, and New Year's. We in the height of it right now. Come on.
An increase of heathenish manners.
And increase in what?
Heathenish manners.
An increase in heathenish manners. That's what we're doing right now. Let's get a heathenish manner that has been increased. Let's talk about this Yule real quick and their God that they worship. Right? So when you look at Yule, this is just an easy Google search. Yule is from December 21st this year to January 1st. Right? So it's a whole celebration of it. But let's get their God they worship. Yule. Let me bring this up real quick. And then it gets so deep. This was the rabbit hole I went through. Right? I might just play the video. No, I won't play the video. Let me see if I can get this article queued up real quick. Give me 1 second. I'm about to queue this thing up. All right, here we go. Who has ever heard of the ancient god Odin? Who's ever heard of the ancient god Odin?
Mm-hmm.
In the chat.
Everybody who's seen Marvel.
That's right.
That's your favorite character.
All right. This SSG say I have. Right. Now let's get some images of this. This is where your Santa Claus from Yule would come from. Is the Romantic pagan god Odin. See the similarities between white man in red beard, Santa Claus in red beard, hat. Very similar, right? They tried to intertwine the two in a sense. But not only does he look like him, watch this. When you look at Odin and what kind of horse he rode a horse with 8 legs. Why is that a good? Why do I make that comparison? Who knows in the chat? Who knows in the chat why I make the comparison with 8 legs? Or why is that significant with Odin in the chat? I'm gonna give it a second. I'm gonna get his horse's name while we get it. He said Norway loves Odin. That's correct. And we're gonna get on Norway at a sanctuary got it. The reindeer. But why? What's specific about the reindeer? How many reindeers does Santa ride on or have? How many reindeer, right, did Santa have? He had about 8 to 9 reindeer.
Mm-hmm.
Some say 9, some say 8. A lot of movies now portray 9. But when you go back, he had 8 reindeer.
Yep.
So this is showing you where this Santa Claus is truly coming from. It's going to these Germanic paganism gods. And when you look, when I delved into Odin, he's really like the Germanic people's Yahweh in a sense.
Yep.
It's crazy to say that. Because there is no power like Yahweh. Yahweh is the only power. But they worship him as like he's their most high. He's the
He
father
is their Jupiter.
Yes, he's their Jupiter. That's a good way to put it out. Yeah, it said, that's what it was. Rudolph made it 9, right? But he had 8, but then you got Rudolph coming. They had to play that for the kids.
Good.
Right? You had to play that for the kids. So it started off as Odin being depicted as the Santa Claus, and then when you get to like the 1800s, you had professors like Clark Moore and another guy. They started adding or converting into Santa Claus, and we can get that article as well. Right? But let's first get Norway and how they do Saint Nick or Odin. Watch this. To show the racist nature behind all of this stuff. Let me see if I can just put Norway. They are, man. Nah, I want Saint Nick. Yeah, Saint Nick, because it also goes back to Saint Nick as well. Right? It also goes back to Saint Nick. Let me see if I can find this. Oh, I already know what to put.
So I can repeat.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
But that's your Saint Nick resemblance of Santa Claus. Well, look, blackface. Look at the mockery, man. How are you not enraged with anger? Look at the mockery.
Right.
Look at this. This is supposed to be a Jake.
Right. Black Pete.
Supposed to be a Jake. Gathered around Saint Nick or your Santa Claus. What is Saint Nick famous for? Walking around with a bag, giving gifts and candy. So you intertwine Saint Nick and Odin, you got Santa. Saint Nick came with your gifts and your candy, and Odin was that god, right, that you would worship. He came on the horse. He came with the horse that flew in the sky. That's why Santa Claus is flying in the sky. Right, this is where this is pure heathenistic customs, Greek fashion, right, and pure racism at its finest, man.
Right.
But guess what? Hey, I don't want to start off with a great scripture yesterday, man. They're gonna have to those nations that afflicted us and said, let us walk over them, because this is walking over us. This right here is walking over us. And they still do this to the day.
And Salakia.
Go ahead, King.
It's so crazy to me. The same spirit that they use to kind of effeminize, make our men effeminate today in this Christmas spirit. Why you think they went over Mattathias and his sons? Like, listen, you strengthened with sons and brethren. Y'all, this is what they wanted them to do. To be like this, to be subject unto some damn that damn Krampus spirit, that damn Yule Jupiter spirit, Saint Nick spirit, is to be like this and be subjected to being subservient to these folks. And that's the same reason why they want you and them damn whitey tighties with that Christmas thing on and some suspenders, thinking that you a man. You going off.
Yeah. So that's where your ancient Yule practice. So you got Saturnalia, which we went over that, and their god basically is the sun god, and then you had Odin. And watch this. I can't forget to leave this out. I'm gonna just Google it so y'all can see it live. Watch this, man. Watch this. This is heavy. Read this out.
Odin, Salak.
Oh, let me bring it back. Go ahead.
Odin can be compared to the Roman god Mercury.
Mm-hmm.
So in the Nordic tradition, Odin, also known as Woden, gave his name to Wednesday.
He did what?
Gave his name to Wednesday.
So now it makes it even more prevalent. So when you're talking about hump day or the so-called Wednesday, goes back to the ancient tradition of Odin, also known as Woden, which now we have Wednesday. This is all ancient paganism, mystical beings, man. And they have made now the names of the week represent them, right? From Sunday all the way to the sun to Saturday, you got Thursday, Thor, Odin, Wednesday, right? Monday, they say goes back to the moon or the worshiping of the moon, right? All these different things lead to paganism.
Yep.
That's why we got to read 2 Maccabees 4 again from the top.
Call out of one. It's the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 4, starting at verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
Now, such was the height of Greek fashions and increase of heathenish manners.
Come on, and that's what we in, the increase of the heathenish. Everything got heathenish manums around it.
Yeah.
You want to go get some Asian cuisine, heathenish manners. Going to the grocery store, some heathenish manners in there. Everywhere, your job, the only place that's sacred is the crib, is your house. As Benjamin said, your yard, man. That's the only thing. Other than that, ain't nothing sacred. That's why you got to go all out for the days of Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
Because if not, you'll get caught up in, damn, it do feel like the Christmas spirit around here. You can feel it. You start getting a bubbly feeling inside. Because the heathen manners. You start walking in Walgreens talking about, and this Christmas will be a very special one. You go to singing it and not rebuke yourself for it. You just, whatever. Because you're not taking this thing serious, man. Keep going on.
Through the exceeding profaneness of Jason, that ungodly wretch,
and
no high priest.
Come on.
That the priest had no courage to serve anymore at the altar.
And that's our priests too. They have no courage to really to denounce these things. Matter of fact, we did a flyer run last Shabbat actually, and we broke down Easter to a brother, and he said he was a so-called priest, and he said the next time he was gonna go to church, if Karama's in the chat, he's my witness. Right, the next time when he go to church, he's gonna start denouncing Easter. We said, "Thou sayest, brother." We gonna see. If you start denouncing Easter, you're gonna be right over here with us with some fringes on.
That's right.
Because that's the only other choice you're gonna have left, because they're gonna celebrate that Easter. You're talking about Christmas, Valentine's Day, Halloween, and Easter. That's a lot of money for these churches. A lot of money for this American society. Keep going on.
But despising the temple and neglecting the sacrifices, hastened to the partakers, Salaki, of the unlawful allowance in the place of exercise, after the game of discus called them forth.
Right, and that's the same spirit. They hasten to the profaneness or the unlawfulness of these holidays. Now it's Christmas. And a couple days after that, it's going to be New Year's. Then we got Valentine's Day, hearts and naked babies everywhere. Right? Keep going. Oh, yeah, that crumpet. Yeah, I seen people saying that in the chat, man. The crumpets, man, that's off too.
Yeah, Krampus was bad. And so like even New Year's, that's worship of Janus.
Yeah,
that's
Janus.
The god of doors and new beginning.
Like the two-faced guy, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get on that too.
Bring that out,
verse 15. Not setting by the honors of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all.
And this is what we have come down to. This is what it all boils down to. We liken the ways of the Grecian best alls, and we set the glory and the honor of our fathers aside. Meanwhile, these Edomites and these other nations are full-fledged in their religions and in idolatry. They're full-fledged in it, and they got you doing it. And we worship them. We literally telling our children that there was a Santa Claus coming down the tree. You eating the cookies in the milk, lying to your children when they wake up talking about Santa Claus came. Santa Claus came. You have them staying up all night long, waiting to hear Santa, waiting to hear you walk your hungry behind in there and eat the cookies, man. You just lying. And I'm trying to figure out when our people are gonna get sick and tired of being sick and tired, because they don't care.
And so, like you,
go ahead.
To your point, how your kids up all night celebrating Christmas, but can't stand to be in Saturday to worship the Sabbath? Or like, look at Jackson 5 was Jehovah's Witnesses. They didn't celebrate none of this, but they sure did make them Santa Claus songs to sell it to you. Because that's what they was told. Because they know the powers that be, they try to force feed this to us. When that don't work, they slap another name on it, call it a different god, and then resell it and repackage it to you. And you're going to take it. You can read 16.
Bring it out.
It's the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 16. By reason wherefore sore calamity came upon them.
So you see, because they was doing that, they got sore calamity came upon us for doing that, right? Why? Because what was they essentially trying to do? Keep going.
For they had them to be their enemies and avengers.
How the same people that enslaved you, gonna save you?
That's right.
How the same people that destroyed the painted the likeness of their images there, and they destroy your temple, gonna now give you who they call Jesus? How they gonna do that? It don't make no sense. But see, this is their playbook that they've been running on us forever. That's why they don't want us to read. That's why they killed our strong men. You know, that's why they didn't give us our history. Don't tell us our history prior to the slave trade. Because it's the same playbook that they've been running on us from the beginning. It's been working, right? Keep going.
Whose custom they followed so earnestly.
So earnestly. Jakes went harder to celebrate the heathen custom than they own. That's what we're talking about. Go ahead.
And unto whom they desire to be like in all things.
In all things. And we got towed up for it, trying to be like them in all things. That's why, because of that, give me that Isaiah 5:13. So the Most High said, all right, that's what you want to do? Go ahead. You're gonna get whipped by that belt of that belt of oppression. Go ahead.
Count out of one. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 5, beginning at verse 13. Therefore, my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge.
You see, that's why. Listen, that's why we got to learn all these things. We got to learn how the heathen have done this. We got to learn our law, statute, commandments. But because we don't have no knowledge, well, you see what Hosea told you in Hosea 4:6. He's going to forget our children, right?
That's right.
But you see right here, that's why we went into captivity. Because we was happy to be in captivity under the Grecians. We abandoned our customs, said, no, we want what they doing. Theirs is a little bit more lascivious. Theirs, they going off. That seems like fun. I'd rather have that fun than to be in the kingdom. It's that same spirit Jacob was having when they left Egypt in the wilderness. Said, hey, I'd rather be in slavery and go over there and eat and turn up in slavery than to chart my own course and be the king I'm meant to be. And we got to get out of that spirit. We got to be the strong men. We got to be the warrior class of our people, like I don't want to always say. And yeah, I got something to bring out, but it'll be after, once we get in Jeremiah. I'll yield right there.
Kind of praises. Is more on that? Verse 17.
Yeah. It's the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 4 and verse 17. For it is not a light thing to do wickedly against the laws of God.
And that's a fact. It's not a light thing to do wickedly against the laws of God. That scripture need to be brought out more because people think it's a light thing.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
But the time following shall declare these things.
But the Most High, the time following is going to declare these things, meaning your sins will be brought forth. Right? And what? The destruction of the Greeks coming, the destruction of the Romans coming, and destruction of Babylon the Great eventually coming, right? The sister says she got some questions on Kwanzaa. I'm not really too deep on Kwanzaa, to be honest. I just know, only thing I really know about Kwanzaa is those 7 candlesticks that they have represent something.
Yeah, like Umoja is one.
Yeah, like the 7, it represents like the 7 principles, but I ain't too hip on Kwanzaa. I thought one day me and my family was like, yo, we ain't doing the Christmas thing. That's white. We wouldn't go bought some. We thought we was gonna do Kwanzaa. Right? We didn't know what we was doing. We just bought the candle.
I wonder if it's connected to like Ifa.
It might be because it's ancient African culture.
Yeah.
It's definitely ancient African
culture.
The
Ifa is the devil too. Hey, but shoot, since we kept going, watch this. I'm gonna show y'all this too.
Bring it out.
Because showing, like I said, all they do is repackage it and give it back to you. So we was tripping over Jupiter, which we brought out with Zeus, right? Then came the Odins and the Thors and all of that. Then came the sun, Mithraism, and all of that, right? Read verse 19.
It's the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 4, and verse 19. This ungracious Jason sent special messengers from Jerusalem, who were Antiochians, to carry 300 drachms of silver, to the sacrifice of Hercules.
Unto who?
Of Hercules.
Unto Hercules. You see? Because we know Hercules is so-called son of that damn Zeus, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see, they keep repackaging this stuff and giving it to you.
Yeah.
You would never know that Hercules was in the Bible. And they oppressed us by worshiping Hercules and Zeus. That's crazy, huh? Keep going.
Which even the bearers thereof thought fit not to bestow upon the sacrifice, because it was not convenient, but to be reserved for other charges.
And if you keep reading on this, it's just gonna kind of give some more history of how they was really trying to push that sacrifice and worship of Zeus and Hercules. Now Thor and Odin. Now it's Santa and whoever else.
Yeah. Excellent point. So that'll be a breakdown or a rough analysis of where your Christmas comes from and why it came about. You had these other ancient cultures celebrating different things, right? And this is just a brief synopsis, right? Celebrating Yule, Saturnalia, and the gods that came with them, the winter solstice, and to convert them or to allow them to or make them follow Christianity. Here's Jesus' birthday right here. This is something you can celebrate. And let's give a little bit of Odin. Let's give a little bit of Saturnalia. Let's make it in the winter solstice month or time. And now you have what we have today is what they'll be celebrating. What, Monday? What is that? Monday is Christmas? Right? They'll be celebrating that Monday. Now let's get into this tree. Number 1, Jeremiah. You said you had something for this side? Jeremiah.
Chapter 10, start at the top.
Oh, you got it up.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, beginning at verse 1. Hear ye the word which Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen.
You see?
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
So the Most High is saying, listen, do not learn their customs. Do not do anything like them. In the book of Deuteronomy chapter 14, he tells, look, don't even worship me the same way they worship their gods.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even look. They be eating babies and doing burning trees. Look. That's not how we get down. Do nothing like them, right? It says, nor be dismayed at the signs of heaven, right? Or for the heavens, heathens are dismayed at them. We know the signs of the heaven are the stars, the moon, the sun. Because why? That's paganism. They're worshiping the creation instead of the creator. That's what the heathen do. Why? Because they don't have a God. The Father is not with them. So all they got to do is worship this damn tree, or worship this sun, or worship anything other than the Father. Because why? Because he's the Lord our God and none else. Right? Keep going.
For the customs of the people are vain.
Right.
For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe.
You see?
They deck it with silver and with gold.
Yep. They
fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not.
What does that sound like?
It's Christmas.
It's your damn Christmas tree. You go in. If you go into Semiramis, and it's a whole nother prior to they packaged it with Thor and Odin, they was doing this back then, worshiping Tammuz and Semiramis in them, and Nimrod in them, right? Yep. So they went and got a tree, they brought it in, they fastened it down the same way they do. They deck it with silver and gold. The same thing you're doing today. And guess why you think they put a star on it? Because it's sun worship. That's why they put the sun at the top, the star at the top to represent the sun. Right? If you really delve into the history. Man, it's a great book called The Pagan Book of Days. Okay? The Pagan Book of Days. It's like $20 on Amazon. And it breaks down all the pagan origins of these days. I mean, and not even just like the big so-called folly days, but even the lesser ones, the normal days. It really breaks it down. The Pagan Book of Days you can find on Amazon, right? Keep going.
They are upright as the palm tree, but they speak not.
Right.
They must needs be born because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil. Neither also is it in them to do good.
So really, what that's going into is because they was teaching that back then that hey, this tree has a spirit of that damn Tammuz or the sun god or whatever, and that's why they had to fasten it down. And if you were naughty, he would come and he would attack you. But if you were nice, you'd be fine. You get gifts, etc., and it'd be all cool. That's what comes to that naughty or nice list right there. And that's why Jeremiah's saying, like, bro, that's all BS. Don't be scared of no damn tree. what the heathens is doing is stupid. That's what he's telling you. Like, that's dumb. Don't be dismayed at them. Why? Because the heathen. Now, in the chat, what captivity was it during Jeremiah?
Good question.
And then once you answer that, say, and then tell me, where are we today? That's the answer right there. I can't see the chat. I'm on my phone. Is somebody? Bam! There we go. It's my soldier. That's right. Exactly. Babylon, right? And so what? The damn Babylonians, they were selling that damn Christmas tree and trying to tell you that it's powerful and trying to get you to worship that. See, it's even from back then. They repackage it and give it to you, and they don't want you to have your history because then you'll know, right? Give me this in 2 Kings chapter 23 and verse 4. Start at verse 4.
It's the book of 2 Kings chapter 23, starting at verse 4. And the king commanded Hilkiah, the high priest, and the priest of the second order, and the keepers of the door, to bring forth out of the temple of the Lord all the vessels that were made for Baal.
You see? So during that time, listen, the damn heathens, they influence our wicked kings, because there was a lot of wicked kings in Israel that got dismayed at the signs of the time. Exactly what Jeremiah is telling you not to do. And they put up temples to Baal. They was worshiping that damn Christmas. They were worshiping that Easter. They were going off the same way Jake go off today, right? But there was also some righteous kings who struck that down and removed that, right? And removed that paganism. Because remember, paganism is just worshiping of the earth and the elements of the earth. Keep going.
Count the wall. And for the grove, and for the host of heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And he burned them without Jerusalem in the fields of Kidron, and carried the ashes of them unto Bethel.
Right. So the host of heaven being the stars, right? Being the sun, the moon, all the host of heaven, right? Keep going.
Verse 5. And he put down the idolatrous priest, Salakia, whom the kings of Judah had ordained to burn incense in the high places in the cities of Judah.
Mm-hmm.
And in the places round about Jerusalem.
Right.
Them also that burned incense unto Baal.
Right.
To the sun.
Uh-huh.
And to the moon.
Yep.
And to the planets. And to all the hosts of heaven.
That's sun god worship. That's moon god worship. That's the paganism.
Yep.
It existed since back then. They just repackaging it and giving it to you. And so when you think that, no, this is just for the kids, no, you are part of a thousands of year old idolatry that's been going on. It's not just innocent. It's not, oh, I just want them to be left out. Man, this is a battle we've been fighting for thousands of years. Why do you want to get caught up in it? That's why this says, listen, the things written aforetime was written for our learning. Because when you learn this, you realize it's not a light thing to forsake the laws of God.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not an innocent thing. You are literally siding with the enemy. All right? I'll yield.
Let's get another article real quick. Let's get another article. Nakawa shall read this for me real quick. Bad boy up. All right, so this is Bible Tools, right? Good website. Got good information on it as well. But let's start just right at the top.
Calm down, Juan. When you put up that tree, tack a wreath on the door and maybe hang mistletoe from the lintel. What are you signifying? John Williamson and Christmas Greenery in the Dallas Morning News encapsulates the pagan origin of decorating with evergreens.
Right, so you can go and read this article that he wrote. Right, come on.
Evergreen trees were important fertility emblems for the pre-Christian ceremonies marking the winter solstice.
So even the tree goes back to idolatry, saying that the tree is going to bring fertility. Mm-hmm. How is a tree going to bring fertility? Let's keep going.
People from ancient societies believed that by decorating their homes and temples with evergreen plants, such as holly, ivy, and mistletoe, they were helping to carry the diminished sun through a critical period. Mistletoe was the most sacred plant of the Druids. It was given great reverence because it grows on the venerated oak.
Now listen to this. Watch this. Come on.
The custom of kissing under the mistletoe comes from the ancient idea that mistletoe is the oak's genital.
Like, read it again. You kind of broke up. Satan didn't want that to come out. Either you fumbled or Satan didn't want that to come out. Read that sentence one more time.
The custom of kissing under the mistletoe comes from the ancient idea that mistletoe is the oak's genitals.
Come on, man. So you got the mistletoe hanging down. It's supposed to be the hanging genitals.
That's crazy.
Oh, of course.
Right now, all of this you got to continue to search and fact check. Right? But this is some of the ideas that were taught or that some ancient Romans and Greeks kept. in the Germanic cultures. This is some of the ways that they practice and follow and believe wholeheartedly. Keep going, out.
And so it was believed that an embrace under its glistening berries was sure guarantee of a fruitful union.
Now see that the glistening berries? Come on, man, that's off. Come on.
The decoration of Christmas trees is a survival of pagan tree veneration. For centuries before Christianity, holly was used for celebrating their midwinter Saturnalia.
There you have it. So it goes right back to Saturnalia. Keep going. Let's keep riding.
While all the greenery in a home decked out for Christmas is beautiful to look at, these customs have nothing to do with Christ.
Read that part again.
These customs have nothing to do with Christ.
Your Christmas is a lie. It has nothing to do with Christ. Come on.
In fact, they are sheer paganism, directly descended from ancient rites practiced long before Jesus' birth. Do you really want to give the impression that you're worshiping a tree, or that you desire a fruitful union because you give someone a kiss under the mistletoe?
Hey, that was some of y'all dreams in the chat, man. Y'all either wanted to or have kissed under a mistletoe. Y'all wanted to, or you have tried to kiss under a mistletoe, because that's what we all seen on TV. All the Christmas shows had that. Right? Even the Steps of Judah bringing out good facts, man, or good information. I said the mistletoe is poison. It's like a strand of poison ivy, like a poison love. Right? So a brother and sister like, quick, now I never did that. Brothers do. Nah, I ain't never tried media. Nah, the mistletoe, that's, I don't even know we got that in Florida. Right? But man, it's more. We're not done. Let's get into Nimrod a little bit. Let's just read some of this. We won't read it all. Let that go away. Okay, go ahead.
Two key figures in the origin of Christmas are Nimrod, a great grandson of Noah, and his mother and wife. Semiramis, also known as Ishtar and Isis.
Now we're going to Ishtar. Come on.
Hey, wait.
Go ahead.
So, like, you skipped over that part. Read after Noah. That little stanza after the word Noah.
And his mother and wife.
That was heavy.
That's weird.
That's right.
This is the origin. I'm telling you, it's real freaky. Like how you brought it earlier. It's real nasty and lascivious. I'm telling you. Stay away from this, y'all. This is not something that you want for your children.
At all. Come on.
Nimrod, known in Egypt as Osiris, was the founder of the first world empire at Babel, later known as Babylon. From ancient sources such as the epic Gilgamesh, the records unearthed by archaeologists from long ruined Mesopotamian and Egyptian cities, we can reconstruct subsequent events.
Okay, let's get here.
After Nimrod's death, Semiramis,
his wife and his mother, now remember, come on,
promoted the belief that he was a god, and claimed that she was full-grown evergreen tree spring out of roots of a dead tree stump.
Come on, like, what are we talking about right now? Read on.
Symbolizing the springing forth of new life for Nimrod.
See, come on.
On the anniversary of his birth, she said Nimrod would visit the evergreen tree.
Now, wait a minute. Remember, she's the evergreen tree. Wait, did it say that she claimed that? No, she saw. I'm sorry. I read it wrong. I read it too fast. Come on. Salaki, that was on me. I thought it said that she claimed to be. But she said she saw a full-grown evergreen tree. Come on, keep going. Salaki. Just do on the anniversary.
On the anniversary of his birth, she said, Nimrod would visit the evergreen tree and leave gifts under it.
Mm-hmm.
His birthday fell on the winter solstice at the end of December.
So that's also another worshiping of the gift giving, right? Putting that the gifts under the tree. So none of this stuff has to. Let's keep going. Let's just keep going. Watch. It's gonna prove that none of this stuff has to do with Christmas, and we're gonna get some of these doctrines that come out of it too. Keep going.
A few years later, Semiramis bore a son, Horus or Gilgamesh. She declared that she had been visited by the spirit of Nimrod, who left her pregnant with a boy.
This is the part I had jumped the gun, but this is the part I wanted. Come on.
Horus, she maintained, was Nimrod reincarnated.
Now I want y'all to hear. Now, what does that sound like? The spirit visited her, impregnated her, and they had a baby. What does that sound like?
Mm-hmm.
It said right there.
Virgin birth.
Sound like the virgin birth, or the Trinity is what it's gonna make.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Keep going up. Immaculate conception.
With the Father, Mother, and Son deified, a deceptive, perverted Trinity was formed.
Hey, isn't that what the Quran says the Trinity is? Hold on, wait. Let me get this real quick. Hold on. Say something real quick, Aharon. If you got a brother's got a precept. If you talking, Aharon, you on mute.
Can you hear me?
Con, I don't want.
Yeah.
Con. So I mean, the point I want y'all to get is the fact that a lot of the stuff that we abandon today, a lot of these so-called holy days, they're rooted in pagan traditions. And you got to think, why are they trying to force us to do this? Why is it such a problem if we try to follow the actual biblical holy days, but there's no problem in doing this stuff that has been used as paganism for thousands of years? What is the purpose of this? Why is there not any new traditions to come about? Why is it these same ones, these same enemies that we've been fighting, repackaged? Where's the Indian version of this? Where's the Arab version of this? It doesn't exist. Is there a new story? Is there a new sun god story? No, it doesn't exist, man. They keep packaging the same thing, and it's like I said earlier, it's a war going on. It's the same enemy using a different tactic, and once you're aware of what it is, you're able to fight it. But if it's not worth the fight to you, what are you going to say for yourself in the day of a judgment? Surely you're not going to say, well, it was for my babies. You understand? And we got so many other feast days and holy days that we really don't need this. I'm telling you, the feast days that we have, they're way more righteous, they're way more fun, and they're way more frequent too. All you got to do is delve into them. Abandon that BS and delve into this.
I can't find that surah. If I'm not mistaken, if somebody could put it in the chat, if I'm not mistaken, it says it's with not the Holy Spirit, but with Yahawashi and Mary. They get it wrong. I thought I had it in my notes, maybe in my other set of notes. But nevertheless, we'll get it. Let's keep going. I'll find it if the Yahweh permits.
Salaki, I don't want.
Go ahead.
This same Horus and Osiris are the same Greek gods that were in Salaki, the same Egyptian gods in Egypt, correct?
Yep.
God.
So in the book of Leviticus, chapter 18, starting verse 1, it says, "And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, I am Yahweh your power. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, Whether I bring you, shall ye not do, neither shall ye walk in their ordinances. So this is the same customs that the Most High is telling them, don't follow these customs. But we see that, man, I don't know what it is, but our people start seeing lights, stuff glittering, gold, silver, man, and we just fall right into it. It's just like you're saying, it's the same package presented over and over and over and over again. No matter where we go, man, it's man, those heathen customs catch our eye, and we just start falling into it. Even when you go into the book of Ezekiel, man, you see how man. Hold on, Salakia. I think it's Ezekiel 23.
Bring it out.
We can start up at verse 14. It reads, and that she increased her whoredoms, for when she saw men portrayed upon the wall, the images of the Chaldeans portrayed with vermilion, girded with girdles upon their loins, exceeding in dyed attire upon their heads, all of them princes to look to, after the manner of the Babylonians of Chaldea, the land of their nativity. As soon as she saw them with her eyes, she darted upon them, and sent messengers unto them into Chaldea. And the Babylonians came to her bed, it came to her into the bed of love. And that's what happens, man. When we see the customs of the heathen, we fall right into it. Those things, they become a snare unto us. And that's what the Most High was telling us. Don't do after their customs. Don't do after their ordinances. The things and the manners that they do, don't take them upon you. And that's why we would have drive them out of the land, because the Most High knew by us being around them, eventually the things that they were doing is going to catch somebody's eye. And once they catch your eye, once that thing is implanted in your mind, your body is gonna act out that same thought.
As a matter of fact, read Jeremiah 7 and start at verse 17. We're gonna read through 18.
Another one. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 7, beginning at verse 17. Seest thou not what they do in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem?
You see, the Most High, it's like, yo, you see this? See what they're doing. Verse 18.
The children gather wood, and the fathers kindle the fire.
Right.
And the women knead their dough to make cakes to the Queen of Heaven.
That's that Semiramis. You see, right. They in Babylon, they was worshiping. That everybody was a part of it. It was a whole family thing. The same way your family gathered for the so-called Christmas, the same way your family gathered for Easter. Look, children getting the wood, dad is decking and mama cooking. Everything is the whole family's involved to do this this pagan worship to the Queen of Heaven, which is really Semiramis when you really dive into it. Right? Keep going.
To make cakes to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto other gods, that they may provoke me to anger.
You see, and it pisses the Most High off. He's not okay with this. It's not just for the kids, right? So, matter of fact, watch this. You should see what he feels about it. You should see if he'll say, okay, you know what, it's for the kids, it's okay, because there's literally the same worship of the same deity as Christmas, right? It's literally the exact same. Keep going. Just jump down to 20.
Verse 20. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh power, behold, mine anger and my fury shall be poured out upon this place, upon man and upon beast, and upon the trees of the field,
right,
and upon the fruit of the ground, and it shall burn and shall not be quenched.
You see, he is not giving any passes because you're doing this for your kids, right? Because he told us. He told us not to do this, not to follow the ways of the heathen. But we didn't listen. We'd rather be in the damn Christmas spirit. We'd rather be in the Easter spirit, right? Jump to 22, Bob Kashar.
Come, verse 22. For I spake not unto your fathers, nor commanded them in the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt, concerning burnt offerings or sacrifices.
You see, listen. You see, I didn't tell you to do this, even from back Egypt, because like we brought out, this goes back to them same deities that the damn Egyptians had. He said, I didn't tell you to do this. Verse 23.
Verse 23. But this thing commanded I them, saying, obey my voice, and I will be your God, and ye shall be my people. And walk ye in all the ways that I commanded you, that it may be well unto you.
So you see right there, he's like, I gave you the Passover. I gave you the law, statutes, and commandments. I gave you all this righteousness, not no damn Christmas. But yet and still, you want to follow the Queen of Heaven. You want to follow the damn sun god. You want to follow damn Hercules and Zeus and Krampus and all of them.
That's right.
So what happened? We got destroyed. We got sent into captivity. Don't stop that today. Reverse the curse today.
Okay.
Are you?
It's absolutely right, Art. Absolutely right. Let's go to Ezekiel. Well, let's finish this out, and then I want to go to Ezekiel. We're going to end with Ezekiel. Where did we leave off? Let's start here.
Horus, she maintained, was Nimrod reincarnated with a father, mother, and son deified. A deceptive, perverted Trinity was formed.
Right, and the Quran says something similar when you read Surah 5. Captain Direct sent it to me. Right, I won't pull it up, but it talks about Allah asking Jesus, did you tell us to worship you and your mother, which is basically the false aspect of the Trinity, showing that the Quran even got the Trinity wrong, putting Mary in the Trinity and not the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Brothers and sisters can understand that. Right, that's something you look into. Oh, that's Surah 5 and 116. Surah 5 and 116. Keep going up.
Semiramis and Horus were worshipped as Madonna and Child.
Yeah.
As the generations passed, they were worshipped under other names in different countries and languages.
Let's see. Come on.
Many of these recognizable: Fortuna and Jupiter and Rome.
Now look where we back. Aharon, look where we at now. We back at Jupiter.
I'm telling you.
We back here. Right?
It's the same one too. We keep falling for the okie doke.
Yep.
Aphrodite and Adonis in Greece. Ashtoreth and Astarte and Molech, Baal and Canaan.
Come on.
During the time between Babel and Christ, pagans developed the belief that the days grew shorter in early winter because the sun god was leaving them.
And that's where it all goes back to. The sun god was leaving them, so let's worship him before he leaves us. Keep going.
When they saw the length of the day increasing, they celebrated riotous, unrestrained feastings and orgies.
What is that, Doc?
Unrestrained feastings and orgies.
That's what was going on during these times. Read on.
This celebration, known as Saturnalia, was named after Saturn, another name for Nimrod.
Yeah, there you have it, man. Right, there you have it. So this is where these ancient wicked days come from. Right? Just practices of idolatry. Idolatrous practices, man. And let's show in the temple what we was doing in Ezekiel. Go ahead.
Salakia. Dude, it was so crazy that it was outlawed in England for I think like 10 to 15 years. Yeah, it was illegal to even do Saturnalia. It was that wild. Even some Edomites was like, yo, hey, yo, we're going off. It was that wild with the orgies and this lasciviousness.
Right. So let's read a little bit now. Let's get a few scriptures. Let's go to Ezekiel 8. I want to start at verse 4. Let's get right to it.
It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 8, starting at verse 4. And behold, the glory of the God of Israel was there, according to the vision that I saw on the plain. Then said he unto me, Son of man, lift up thine eyes now the way toward the north. So I lifted up mine eyes the way toward the north. And behold, northward at the gate of the altar, this image of jealousy in the entry.
Right. So now when we talk about the image of jealousy, some people say it is an actual idol, but some others, most scholars just say that it's just idolatry in general, because Yahweh is a jealous God. So all images of idolatry are images of jealousy, because Yahweh is a jealous God and you're worshiping him. Keep going.
He said furthermore unto me, Son of man, seest thou what they do? Even the great abominations that the house of Israel committeth here, that I should go far off from my sanctuary. But turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations.
And that's what happens. The abominations keep getting worse and worse and worse with the things that we're doing. Keep going, watch.
And he brought me to the door of the court. And when I looked, behold, a hole in the wall. Then said he unto me, Son of man, dig now in the wall. And when I had digged in the wall, behold, a door.
Now you got to even think about Ezekiel, how great Ezekiel had to be as a man, right? For the Most High to be sure. Because if you read earlier, it said Yahweh grabbed him by a lock, and he was between the earth and heaven, man. Right? Showing him this vision. It was like the spirit was on him, right? But Ezekiel had to be such a great brother. He said he was showing these visions, man. There's a hole, and you're going to dig in this hole and watch what you find. Keep going.
Verse 9. And he said unto me, Go in, and behold the wicked abominations that they do here. So I went in and saw, and behold every form of creeping things, and abominable beasts, and all the idols of the house of Israel, portrayed upon the wall round about.
And all of this is in the house of Israel. But spiritually, it's in all the houses. This Christmas, all these wicked days in idolatry, idolatrous beings and characters are in our houses literally today. That's why you go to Granny house, she got the white Jesus in there. You go to Auntie house, she got the white angels. You go to Unc house, he ain't trying to do the Christmas or none of that no more. He got Buddha in there. Got some brothers, they talking about Rastafari. Like all these different things, right? Jump to verse 13, all right?
Verse 13. He said also unto me, Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations that they do. Then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was toward the north. And behold, there sat women weeping of Tammuz.
Say it again.
There sat women weeping for Tammuz.
And they saw women weeping for the god of Tammuz. Why were women weeping for the god of Tammuz? Because she's the god of fertility. Just like that mistletoe and that evergreen tree. Tammuz is the god of fertility. So they're crying because they're probably infertile and want the god of Tammuz to make them fertile, not weeping and crying to Yahweh. This is what our people is doing. Just like our people would nowadays go see a tarot card reader or a hand or a face reader instead of weeping to Yahweh. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 15. Then said he unto me, Hast thou seen this, O son of man? Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations than these.
And it gets even worse. It just keeps getting worse. Come on.
And he brought me unto the inner court of the Lord's house. And behold, at the door of the temple of the Lord.
Now this is at the door of the temple now. Come on.
Between the porch and the altar were about 25 men, and their backs toward the temple of the Lord.
Now it's 25 men. What they doing?
And their faces toward the east.
Come on.
And they worshipped the sun toward
them. They did what?
They worship the sun toward the east.
What we've been talking about all day. What kind of worship?
Sun,
Sun worship. Sun God. This is what our people want to do. This is in the door of the temple, man. They got their face to the east, worshiping the sun God. One. It all intertwines. They was doing it back then. It might not have been called Christmas, but they still because we know it all goes back to the sun God Saturnalia. So it's the same thing. The tree got the star on the top for the worship of the sun God, for the sun.
That's Salakia.
Go ahead, Al.
You know what this remind me of? When that damn demon was like, Christ I know, Paul I know, but who is you?
Who are you?
You know why? Because them demons, they've been our enemies from times of old. You understand? That's crazy. I yield.
Keep going on.
Verse 17. Then he said unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man? It is the light thing, Salakia. Is it a light thing to the house of Judah that they commit the abominations which they commit here? For they have filled the land with violence and have returned to provoke me to anger.
Come on.
And lo, they put the branch to their nose.
Come on.
Therefore will I also deal in fury. Mine eyes shall not spare, neither will I have pity. And though they cry mine ears with a loud voice, yet will I not hear them.
And I won't hear them. Thus saith the Lord. Now jump to 9 and 4. This is us. This is who we got to be in these type of seasons.
It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 9 and verse 4.
This is how we got to move in these seasons. Read on.
And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
So now when you read this, it got more context. There was worshiping Tammuz. There was following the sun god. All these gods exist today, just in a different name or a different fashion of how you worship them. Matter of fact, they make it a holiday now, so they disguise the worship of it. So the scripture says he got to set a mark upon the men that sigh and cry for the abominations that his people are doing. That's us. That's what we have to be doing, sighing and crying about it. Read on.
Verse 5. And to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity.
Because he already told you in verse 8, chapter 8 and 18, he was not going to have no pity, and his anger was fury. Read.
Slay utterly, old and young.
Do what?
Slay utterly, old and young.
So it can't be for the children. It can't be for the elders. It says slay utterly, old and young. They got to get it for the abomination that's going on in the city. So you causing your kids to follow. I seen one, I think Texas G put in the chat, the tooth fairy, man. That was my thing. Put that tooth fairy pops coming there with a couple dollars, wake up. Oh, yeah, I got a few dollars up under there, man. Right? All of that, though, is just the wickedness of this world. Just another ancient god you worshiping. You allowing your kids to follow. And now your Most High won't spare your kids for your actions now because you're allowing them to do it. And then when they get up, it's just a cycle. It goes on in the family, on for generations and generations and generations. Right? Read on that.
Both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house.
And that's where it's going to start at. The ancient men, the leaders, the so-called leaders of our generation, of our people, it's going to start with them. That's why it's so important that our actions match what the scriptures say, because the scripture is going to start at the leaders. And then everybody is going to be a trickling effect. Everybody down the line, they got to get it. For not sighing and crying against the abomination that's going on in Babylon the Great that our people delight and love to partake in. You got something out?
Yeah, I had said Deuteronomy 14 earlier, but it's Deuteronomy 12. And I wanted to read real quick. See how the Most High feel about these other nations and their gods, man. Because it is no pass, is no excuse. I really want to make sure that y'all remove the excuse of I'm doing it for the kids and they feel bad, etc., right? All right. We can start Deuteronomy 12. We can start at 2. Do 2 and 3, and then jump down to 29.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 12, beginning at verse 2. Ye shall utterly destroy all the places wherein the nations which ye shall possess serve their gods.
You see, look, everywhere that they was even doing any type of worship, paganism, none of that, destroy that.
That's right.
I want nothing to do with it. I don't even want a remembrance of it.
That's right.
Why? Because imagery. Look, destroy it.
That's right.
Keep going.
Upon the high mountains, upon the hills, and under every green tree.
Why? Because Esau, like, if you look into like Norse mythology, right? The pantheon and the giants, all of them that used to fight against each other, they used to try to get to the highest mountain that they could and do their pagan sacrifices, right? That was a thing to them. That's why, because Esau liked being on high, right? In the clefts of the rock, right? Keep going.
And ye shall overthrow their altars,
right?
And break down their pillars.
So listen, as you see how the Most High feel about even any symbol, anything resembling the way that the heathens celebrate their pagan gods, do you now understand the similarities between this paganism and Christmas? Do you think that you need to be anywhere near any type of worship that's similar to how the heathens celebrated their gods?
Yes, right.
Of course not.
You better run far away from it. If you don't know, if you're on the fence, look at what the Most High says about that type of worship. He doesn't like it at all. Being dismayed at the signs of heaven, he doesn't like it at all. Keep going.
And burn their groves with fire.
That's right.
And ye shall hew down the graven images of their gods and destroy the names of them out of that place.
He wants no traces, right? Jump down.
Verse 29.
Come.
When Yahweh thy power shall cut off the nations from before thee, whether thou goest to possess them, and thou succeedest them, and dwellest in their land, take heed to thyself, that thou be not snared by following them.
Listen, don't see with that shiny stuff that they got over there and say, ooh, that looks fun. No, tear it down.
That's right.
Do nothing, don't do anything like they do, but don't be snared. Which means what? It's possible to be snared. Why? Because it might be enticing to the eyes. You might be in that damn Target and that Mariah Carey song on, you start, ooh, no, don't do that. Put on headphones. You know what I'm saying? Nah, it can be enticing. Don't be snared by it though. Keep going.
After that they be destroyed from before thee, and that thou inquire not after their gods, saying, how did these nations serve their gods? Even so will I do likewise.
Don't try to pervert the worship of the Father and his Son with worshiping the way that the nations did.
That's right.
Jeremiah told you that they cut a tree, they decked it with silver and gold, and they had gifts and all of that. That's how the nations served their God. The Father said, don't even serve me like that. You cannot try to say, well, it's for Jesus now. It was pagan before, but it's for my sweet Jesus now. He don't want that. He told you how he wants worship. He wants nothing to do with it. So there's no excuse there, right? Keep going and read that out to 32.
Thou shalt not do so unto the Lord thy God, For every abomination to Yahweh, which he hateth, have they done unto their gods.
He hate how they even worship their gods. He think it's weird. He don't even like that. He told you specifically how to serve him and worship him. He told you what sweet savor he like. The Most High tell you his favorite things in the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 5, or that's 1st Ezra chapter 5.
2nd Ezra.
Second. He tell you what he like. He don't like that. Keep going.
For even their sons and their daughters they have burnt in the fire to their gods.
Wickedness. Keep going.
What things soever I command you, observe to do it. Thou shalt not add thereto nor diminish from
Listen, don't try to mix in the Kwanzaa. Don't try to do no happy medium, but don't take away from it. He told you the way he wants it, and that's it. Don't think that you could use Christmas as an excuse to be a happy medium to make the family happy. No. His father don't like that. There's no excuses around here. Keep going. I mean, I'm done right there.
Hey, excellent point. That's an excellent place to end right there, man. Stop worshiping the Most High God as you worship these other gods, because they have nothing to do with him. So stop making Christmas about God, the Most High Yahweh. Stop making Easter about Yahawashi. Right? Stop making Valentine's Day about it. Everything you worship, stop making it about Yahweh, because it has nothing to do with him. Your Christmas is a lie, man. Point blank period. Your Christmas is a lie. In the spirit, we went over different aspects of where Christmas came from, the tree, Santa Claus, and all the different origins, right? So if you got to watch it again, watch it again. If you got to send it to family, make sure you send it to family. But your Christmas is a lie, man.
God.
Right? We're not doing no Christmas. We're doing Passover. Right? We're doing first fruits. We're doing tabernacles. Right? The 3 festivals that the most High called us to do in a year. And then we're doing all the other ones in between. New moons, Sabbath, Purim, Nicanor. Right? We're doing dedications, blowing of the trumpets, Day of Atonements. We're doing those, man, because those are the ones that's prescribed. You so-called Bible believers.
Sure.
You so-called Bible believers ain't keeping nothing that the Bible says, but you're gonna be celebrating Christmas with your ugly Christmas sweater, in your ugly Christmas pajamas, in your ugly tree and gifts. You're gonna be doing that, but you won't do nothing that the Lord says, man.
That's right.
Thou hypocrite. You're a hypocrite, man. Right? Yeah. So with that, we'll end right there, man, with the hypocrisy of our people, man, doing everything, doing the traditions of God. I mean, so like you're doing the traditions of men and rejecting the traditions of God wholeheartedly, man. So with that, I'm Captain Yaquad.
Captain Haran.
Soldier Nakawasha.
Soldier Ashir Allah.
Hey, and we are the Sons of Thunder Israelites. It's our heart's prayer and desire for all Israel that they might be saved. Another episode of the Bar4Bar. Your Christmas is a lie, man.
That's right.
Welcome to the Truth of Yah. The Truth of Yah's board game's mission is to humble the world in the truth of Yah. The Truth of Yah's board game's vision is to build up the poor man and woman in spirit. Many people are deceived by lies, deceits, frauds, pride, forward mouth, arrogance, and evil ways. The poor in spirit are attacked daily. The vision to build up the spirit is to cause people only to walk in the ways of Yahweh, just as his son Yahawashi and the prophets did, by not just speaking the word, but by putting every word Yahweh spoke into action.
We're the Sons of Thunder Israelites, and it's our heart's prayer and desire that you all get the Truth of Yah game.
Use our discount code SOT for additional savings.
Shalom.
I just need a little faith in the Most High. He order all the steps I take. Time to get weary, but I gotta keep the pace. The clock is ticking, day of the Lord ain't gon' wait. I will walk the water for your grace. Grace. Abba Yahweh walk the water for you. Daily reflection got me vexed about my ways. Did not reproach myself, this flesh I can't escape. Put myself in check, Nike tracksuit in this case. A two-edged sword, you know that word, katana blades. Blades cut me asunder so my carnal mind don't blunder. Thank the Most High for SOT, I'm out that slumber. I pray I'm of the multitude that you can't number. Times he had blessed me like in forests counting trees. Yeah, how a light is judgment, bring it to your knees. And it's a thin line between just enough and greed. Yeah, greed. I'm hungry for some righteous knowledge, I'm intrigued. Instruct on how to make it better for our seed. Loving your people, it's just more than a good deed. Seasons we got crabby with each other, disobeyed. So he put a nation over us, men that were base. They pervert the truth, they full of hate, they reprobates. Truth he made us all, but us and you can't conflate. Both found in the ditch when the fool tries to lead the blind. To be upright man, perfect the laws and be divine. Take me through that fire, a new mind to be refined. Even if at night the light hit gold, we still gon' shine. We still gon', yeah. You got that title that don't make you a good leader. You think your followers be gassing you, that's either. He's pimping past the McIntyre congregation's Reba. Yeah, I see it. The wicked prosper, don't get caught up with the allure. A constant thought is when our nation gon' get restored. Search for the answers, keep the laws at the end, endure. Yeah, endure. All the advices in the book that the fool won't visit. In wisdom show herself, the few and the most won't get it. A wise man said, is this for sure or are you committed? Yeah, I'm in this. I'm putting bricks in for myself, you make your decision. The map is laid, I took the step, you trust your improvisions. A mustard seed of faith, now watch it grow up through the ceiling. And the Most High, he order all the steps I take. Time to get weary, but I gotta keep the pace. The clock is ticking, day of the Lord ain't gon' wait. Abba Yahweh walk the water for your grace. Grace. Abba Yahweh walk the water for your grace.